Good day once more. Today we'll be talking about the framework of the program of the proven millionaire e-commerce system. I've been receiving notifications from previous subscribers regarding the summary, like what are the steps to follow in getting this thing done. Aside from all those things I've sent to you, you have in the program. So I'll be giving you just the summary of what to do. So, and I'll bullet it to 5 points and kindly just write it down, analyze it, and take a step and implement anything I'll be sharing with you this morning. So, the framework is just the summary of the activities you have to do. So, and once you can do it, I can assure you that you will get the desired result, which is that you'll be able to get and detect outselling products. You'll be able to sell it. You make your desired profit. So the first of the framework I'll be talking about is one. You need to first decide on the product to sell. From the previous video that I sent you that of that course, I've been able to class the hot selling products, the reason why they are hot, the reason why people will buy them, how to get them, how to reach to the supplier, how to I've broken all those processes. I've broken it down. So it is now left to you as from the information you have gotten from the previous video to decide on the product you want to sell. And it is advisable you just decide on the product to sell. And I will advise that take it one step at a time. Don't be too greedy of trying two, three, four, five products, because at first, hot selling products, it takes time for it to take. Let's start from setting up ads. So it will take time for your ad to start optimizing for you to have the results you want. But if you are testing with three, four, or five products, and you actually you don't have much money to do enough testing with the products, you along the line you'll be hooked and you'll be forced to assume that none of the products are actually working. Whereas you don't give it enough time for it for you to see the results you are expecting from it. So I do advise that at least at the point of testing and at the point of deciding the product to sell, give yourself time and try to beat down, even put yourself in the buyer's shoe. The reason why you will buy such a product, what can make you to be convinced that it will sell, and it is enough for you to test it. That you know that it will sell doesn't mean that it will sell. But the moment you are able to bring up some reasons, I mean some points that will make people to buy it, you are putting yourself in buyer's shoe. And the moment you are convinced that okay, this kind of product left to you, you can buy it, then it's enough for testing, not to go and proceed in buying because you are here to test the market. You just put yourself in buyer's shoe to see whether it is you are convinced enough, and the reason why you are convinced enough. So put it into consideration. The moment all these things, the product pass all these things in your mind, then it is good enough for testing. That's the first framework. Decide on the product to sell. Decide on the product to sell, and decide on the product to sell. That's the first framework you should put in mind. And the second thing you should do is that I can't overemphasize this. Analyze, test, and scale the product you are to sell. You need to analyze, you need to test it. I've said it earlier on. When you decide on a product to sell, it is not enough for you to go to the supplier and go and buy. It is not enough at all. It is not enough because you don't have much that you don't have that capital that you can be using to test run, and so you won't just be frustrated because when the little capital you raise for yourself regarding this project, when you burn it out of not taking precaution, it can be alarming. So I will advise that the second thing you have to do is that you analyze, you test, and scale the product. What does analysis mean? Analysis means that okay, you want to put yourself in buyer's shoe, like I've said earlier on. Okay, taking for example, it is a smartwatch. Why will people buy this smartwatch? Is it a trendy smartwatch, or have you seen this kind of smartwatch with a celebrity before, or it has some features that is not known by you do not know with many smartwatches, or what makes it to be different. So with that's the process of analysis. You are analyzing the product. What will make this kind of product to sell? And the moment you are done with the analysis, then it is left to you to test it. How are you going to test it? You test it with a sponsored ad. I'll be putting you through regarding that as well. So you test the product to see how responsive it is to people. After you test the product and you see how it is going, taking for instance, maybe in the first day you test it with like 3,000, and you're able to get like minimum of two, three, 4 to 5 and above orders. So that means that with 3,000, if you can get minimum of 5 orders with 3,000, that means that you are getting a, you're getting an order for 600 naira at first. But trust me, at first, the first data you have when it comes to Facebook data ads, it is noise. Because one, the way I will put you through regarding this, just know that you have to test the product. Then what scaling means is that what makes you to get 3,000 on the first day when you are setting up the ads. A time will come that you like to go mega, like you want to probably maybe you start with 20 pieces, you want to go like you want to do 40 pieces. So yeah, it is advisable that if you are spending 3,000 at first, you can spend 6,000. And it is always observed that if you spend times two of your ad budget and you do it very well, it is still possible that it will double your result as well. Meaning that if you a certain amount of money you are spending to get a particular order, maybe you are spending 3,000 to get like 5 orders. So if you spend 6,000, it is likely that you get something closer or higher than ten orders. So that means that if you double your ad spend, you can get the times two. You can get times two of your results. So that's the second stage. You analyze your product, you test it, and you scale the products you are to sell. And the third point is that okay, you have started selling this product. The third thing you need to do is that now you have started selling it, and customers have been they have been reaching out to you, they have been placing their orders, they have been submitting their details. So it is advisable that you follow up on your orders. So never forget that anything you see on your dashboard is not the end. It is just one of the means. It is never the end. So it is one of the means in the sense that uh believe me, it is not all those people that show interest that will buy. And because of that, you need to do enough follow up. Follow up in the sense that some may say they want it to be delivered at a particular day, on a particular day. And on that day, they will tell you that maybe they have one or two things to go and do. So probably maybe by next week, you should you should check back on them. So if you don't take your time to probably speak to your delivery agent and know the reason why the customers are not did not actually get his package. So it is your work to follow up on them. So never forget, it is when the means of exchange is complete, which is you give them the goods, you collect their money. That is when you are in the business, or else you are just doing it for doing sake. So the fourth thing you should consider is that you should consider your expenses and also retain your profit. So while doing this, there are many things I won't be able to cover, but uh, during your process of doing it, you'll be seeing what I'm about to some of these things I didn't cover. But majorly, the point four you should consider is your expenses and retain your profits. The fact that you check your dashboard and it's giving you a certain volume of orders, or it's giving you a certain volume of amount as the amount made, believe me, that is just an apparent value. It is not a reality. Because from that, I told you earlier on that oftentimes it is not all of those people that show interest that will buy from you. And so to put yourself on the safer side, try and do effective follow-up on the number of people that they submit their details. So this process will help you in maximizing your profit, and also make sure that majorly, or if not all, most of those people that they ordered or they make an inquiry, they get their package. So when they do that, that means that you have maximized your profit. And just consider your expenses as well. There will be miscellaneous spending during the process of doing this. And that's the reason I do suggest that have your market on ground. Have people that want to buy your product before you proceed on going to buy the product. Have people that want to buy the product before you proceed on going to buy the product. So with this, you won't just be using your money to tie. You won't be tying your money down with the product and be looking for who to buy. So there's some expenses that will be coming along the line. So you just need to take care of them. Expenses like maybe along the line you start sending products from one state to another. That's an expenses on you. You start calling customers. some will not pick the call. You continue calling, your dividend will call, start to call. All those, so you just need to consider all those expenses, expenses like advert. So sometimes advert may not go according to your way, but the moment you're able to retain your profits and you don't see your profit as the profit, you you won't have issue. You won't have issue. So the last step, the last framework I'll be talking about is that the profit, reinvest the profits. So it's very synonymous to the point four. So the point five is reinvest. You just need to reinvest the profit. What does that mean? If you start with 50,000 at first and you do a serious business for 1 month, and that 50,000 turn to let me just say turn to like 80 or 100,000. So instead of you to see that, if it is 100,000 that 50,000 turn to, that means that you make a profit of 50,000. So instead of you to see that 50,000 as a profit, don't see it as a profit yet. See it as a capital. So you can take out of that 50,000 probably to for your personal upkeep. You can keep out of 50,000, but make sure that a large percentage of that money or that profit is sent back to your business. So with that, you will continue to grow from small from small scale to large scale. So taking from that, if you had if you make profit of 50,000 and you take like 30,000, you invest it back to the initial capital you have. That means that if you are buying 20 pieces before, you can afford to buy like 30 minimum now. So with that, you continue increasing your business empire. So that is just the framework. Let me go back to it again. The framework of the program is: one, you decide on the product you want to sell. That's the first thing. Second thing is that you analyze it, you test it, you scale the product you are to sell. And the third thing is you follow up on your orders. Fourth thing is consider your expenses and retain your profits. And the fifth framework is that you reinvest your profit back to the business. So if you can just do this, trust me, everything is going to be fine. Thank you and God bless.